guys, welcome to a new video. Today we'll be discussing about trees. So a connected acyclic graph G is called a tree. So as it may be clear from the name itself, acyclic means that there are no cycles in our graph. So any connected acyclic graph is called a tree. Alright, so that's the basic definition of a tree. Now there's something called as a bridge which will be handy when we deal with trees. So the definition of a bridge is, so in any graph G, if an edge E, that is u comma v, is a bridge, if removal of this edge results in a disconnected graph. So say you've got your graph G, and if you remove this edge, then that graph becomes disconnected. Say for example, you have your graph G as this, something like this, and yeah, maybe that's it. So this this edge G, this edge E, my bad, is a bridge, because if you remove this, then you are left with one triangle and your square, right? Something that looks like this, which is disconnected, right? So this edge is called a bridge. So that's what a bridge means. And the next thing is a minimally connected graph. So any graph in which every edge is a bridge is said to be a minimally connected graph. That means that you're touching all your vertices of your graph minimally. That is so in other words, if you remove any edge, any, special emphasis on the word any edge in a minimally connected graph, that will result in your disconnected graph. So that means that a minimally connected graph is a graph in which every edge is a bridge. Okay, cool. So there are a couple of pointers for a minimally connected graph. So no cycles in minimally connected graph. So there are no cycles present in your minimally connected graph, and a tree is a minimally connected graph. Okay, so these are just the 2 pointers. So these are a couple of examples of trees. So you see that in your first example, you don't have any cycles, and that this is an acyclic connected graph. So this is a tree. Similarly, your example 2, so say this is example 1, this is example 2, you see that this is an acyclic connected graph, and thus it's a tree. So there's a reason why I've marked these 2 vertices in the middle with the color purple and the rest all vertices with white. So the thing is that this structure, if you see this tree structure, can be compared to the structure of ethane, that is C2H6. And in general, any structure of alkanes that are CnH2n plus 2 can be compared to trees like this, and you keep adding on units to get your alkanes and its isomers in organic chemistry. So this is a very important application of trees, where you can use this particular kind of structures in organic chemistry to draw your alkanes. Okay, so that's one application. So the next subtopic is a spanning tree. So the spanning subgraph of a graph G, which is isomorphic to a tree, is called the spanning tree of a graph G. So basically what we're doing is, given our graph G, we're finding a spanning subgraph and making that isomorphic to some tree, which it will be, right? So that is basically what is known as a spanning tree. If you don't have any clue whatsoever what a spanning subgraph is, I would suggest you to go through a previous video of mine regarding subgraphs, in which I've covered spanning subgraphs in detail. I'll put the I banner on top. Make sure to go check that out if you don't know what a spanning subgraph is. Okay, so that's what's a spanning tree. So let's do one question. So this is your graph G. All the vertices are labeled as A, B, C, D, and your edges are E1, E2, E3, E4, E5, and you have to find all the spanning trees of this given graph G. Okay, so first of all, a spanning tree is your spanning subgraph, right? Spanning subgraphs, and to recall, spanning subgraphs are subgraphs in which you delete your edges. Okay, so we have to delete edges. Secondly, since it's a spanning tree, it should be acyclic and it should be connected, because a spanning tree is a tree, right? So we need to adhere to these 2 points here. So let's see what all combinations we can make. So first thing to observe is, if we delete either of E1, E2, E3 or E4, only delete one edge out of these, you see that your graph is still connected because of that E5 in the middle. You have a C3 in your graph, right? A cycle C3 in your graph. That means we have to delete 2 edges to get an acyclic connected graph. Okay, so let's take combinations of edges to delete. So let's say I delete E1 and E5 in my first graph, so it will look something like this. Okay, so this is E4, this is E3, this is E2. So this is my one spanning tree. You see that this is acyclic, it is connected because I still have my all 4 vertices here, still connected. It is acyclic, and this is also a subgraph because we've deleted edges, right? So this is one spanning tree. So the problem is we have to list down all the spanning trees. So since we've deleted E1 and E5 for this particular example, let's say I delete E2 and E5. So I would get something that looks like this, roughly something that looks like this after deleting E2 and E5. Again, in this case, you can see that all the conditions are getting fulfilled. You're getting your acyclic connected graph and you're deleting your edges to get a spanning subgraph. So this is a spanning tree. So this is your E4, E3 and E1. Similarly, I want another combination would be deleting E3 and E5. That will result in something like this. And one other combination would be deleting E4 and E5. That would result in something like this. So we've so far got 4 spanning trees, right? So just to, this is E4, E1 and E2. This is E1, E2, E3. So we've so far taken combinations along with E5. Now let's say if we take combinations of E1, E2, E2, E3, E3, E4 and E4, E1, basically we are leaving E5 as it is right now. So if we remove E1, E2, then you would have something that looks like, okay, sorry, my bad, you can't remove E1, E2 because if you remove E1, E2 that will result in a C3 graph. So let's say you remove E2, E3. Let's say we remove E2, E3. So that means that you will be left with something that looks like this. This is your E4, this is your E5, this is your E1. And you've still got your spanning tree, right? We're removing E2, E3 here. Next up, if we remove E1, E4, you have something that looks like this, right? So this is also a spanning tree. We are removing E1, E4 and we are left with E5, E2, E3. Next up, if I remove E1, E3, I would get something that looks like this. This is E4, E5, E2, and my last combination would be to remove E4, E2, right? So I would get something like this. This is E5, this is E1, this is E3. So basically, apart from all these, you cannot find any other spanning tree, because if you remove say E5, then you've got a disconnected graph, right? We are not allowed to have disconnected graphs, because for any tree you have to have the graph connected and acyclic as well. So that means that these 8 cases are mutually exhaustive, and you cannot find any other spanning tree apart from these. So we have in total 8 spanning trees. Alright, so I hope this example helped. So that's it for this video. Hope you liked it, and make sure to check out the other videos in this video series as well to gain more insight into the graph theory. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Make sure to like, share and subscribe if you found it helpful, and I'll see you in the next video guys. Bye bye.